Beep boop beep boop. Beep beep boop beep boop. Hello, everybody. Needs to play some Alt F4. Mm-hmm. Sure. What's up, everyone? Four days no stream feels like an eternity. You can't hit me here. Travalich, thank you for the 11 months. Grungy Sheriff, thank you for the 27 months. Hardwired, thank you for the sub. We got a bunch of offlines. Let me do these offline shout outs.
Okay.
Thanks, Sasha.
Janie, thank you for the 11 months. John J, thank you for the offline. Gabby, thank you for the offline. Lionel, thank you for the offline tier 1. Kirkwart, thank you for the offline. Eduardo Savage. Oh no, that was our that was when we were online. Tony G, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Thanks so much, you guys. Appreciate it.
Have an awesome stream, Uncle P.
Biggs, thank you for the 666. Thank you.
Okay.
6 months with you. Hugs from Buenos Aires. I love you.
Mankind, thank you for the 6 months. Gracias. Thank you, thank you. ¿Cómo te le vu? What's up, everybody? I am back. And we're just gonna chill for a little bit. San Francisco is awesome. Congratulations, Astra. All right, so if you missed all of my announcements all month long, I was gone off stream for 4 days because I went to San Francisco to DJ. I DJ'd Friday night at Temple in San Francisco. And then I decided, well, since I'm going to miss stream, I might as well vlog it. So I did that. Let's see, where should I start? Got it. Friday was super busy. Double A Tracks, thank you for the 16 months. Yo soy el Mike, thank you for the gifted sub. Astra, thank you for the 29 months. So Friday, I got to San Francisco Friday.
Okay.
Got up early Friday morning. Flew up there. got in. There's a lot of traffic getting in, so I had
Smokehead.
a sort of late lunch. I found like a hummus place, which is cool. So I just ate a bunch of hummus and a salad because it was already like 3:30 in the afternoon. Did that, went back to the hotel, showered, washed my hair because, you know, you got to do that. Got my makeup on because I had to do a podcast. So Temple is in this big compound, if you will. It's a big building in San Francisco, and it's part of Mirror's Gallery. So they have an actual art gallery. They used to have a co-working space as well on one of the floors. And then they have the club as well, which is also 2 floors. And yeah, so they got a lot going on. And the promoter that booked me and has always booked me at Temple was working for Temple for years. But then after all of these things happened during the pandemic, and he went through his own personal traumas, if you will. You can read more about that with the organization he runs. Anyways, after pandemic, after his own journey, new journey began, he started this podcast. He spoke to the owner of Mirrors and Temple and said, like, hey, let's do something different. So now he runs this podcast called When the Music Ends within this building. And he's like, he's no longer just a promoter. He's like a creative director. So they just do a lot of cool things. And now they also opened up a temporary gallery in LA, I guess. I didn't even know. They opened that in January, and I think the closing night was actually this past Saturday when I was up there. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff. They always have, but they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and expanding what they do. They also have a Denver location, which is also one part is a club and one part is an art gallery. Here, let me find the podcast. So it's called When the Music Stops, and it's a nonprofit that this guy Josh started, and they talk about all sorts of topics, but mainly to help inspire people that are dealing with deep depression, anxiety, and survivors of suicide, really deep stuff. So yeah, Friday, after I got ready, I got ready for the night, basically, or I tried as best as I could. I got ready. I went and did the podcast. That took actually quite a while, and then I did sound check. After sound check, we went straight to dinner. And it was like a really nice day in the daytime. We get to dinner, which was on a outdoor rooftop. And it was so windy. So windy and so cold. And the fog just started rolling in. So I said, okay, let's just like eat as quick as possible. It was impossible to move to another table because at that point there was a huge group of us. So let's just eat as quick as possible because we're already running behind. The podcast took longer than expected, and then it's just, a lot going on. We ate really quickly, as quick as possible. There's also a game that had just ended, a Giants game that had just ended. And then I looked at the time. I was like, I'm gonna be responsible. I hate rushing.
Mexico, Sasha and guys, I'm glad to be here.
I hate rushing, right? Especially before a gig. I like to have like a moment of peace. So I said, all right, can we, is it cool? Let's like get out of here, call the Uber. And I said, okay, so call the Uber. We head downstairs. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. And finally the Uber driver like went one block too far, and because the game and because it was a one-way street, it was, which is crazy. I feel like, man, ever since pandemic, like the quality of all of the things that we were used to has severely gone down. But anyways, I was looking at the direction from where the car came and there was not a lot of traffic. But apparently where he went, there was a lot of traffic. So anyways, by the time we got a new Uber, we had waited for more than an hour. So yeah, got to the hotel and had to rush. And because it was so windy on that rooftop, my hair was like, F you. So I didn't even have time to fix my hair. But that's okay. Still made it. Got my stuff. And got to the club. And yes, while I was very excited to be back DJing, I love Temple. I love San Francisco. Something even more exciting than all of this is that I got to meet Quad IRL. If you don't know who Quad is, Quad X, aka Big Daddy Quad, aka the List Keeper. Got to meet Quad. Yep, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. He came to my gig. We planned it though, so I knew he was gonna be there, but we left it a surprise for you guys, and I posted the picture on Discord if you guys didn't see it. There were many Nickelback jokes. There were many short jokes. There were many forehead jokes. Nikki Gatto, thank you for the 28 months. Blue Jay, thank you for the 14 months. Thanks so much, you guys. So here's the other thing. I was focused on doing the vlog since I wasn't streaming, right? I said to you guys, and I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna take video of the entire weekend. And I did. I'm still learning a lot about vlogging though. I'm curious to see what will come of all of the footage I have. But because I was focused on video, I forgot to take a solo picture. Yep. I did.
Sasha, how does a penguin build its house? It glues it together.
I dream of Azthoth. Thank you for the biddies. Fido Lasik, thank you for the sub. Welcome to my stream. Von Cobalt, thank you for the 8 months. So, anyways, where was I? I lost my train of thought because that igloo joke, dad joke. Oh yeah, so because I was focused on video and all of that, I forgot to take a solo picture while I was there. I got a picture with Quad, and then I got a picture with the Temple guys and my agent, which is cool for memories, but you know, Instagram doesn't care about that. But I got tons of video. And then let's see, so gig, after the gig, we went onto one of the other floors. We hung out with the promoter, the girl, this girl that was the other DJ before me. Her name was, I think, Allie. She was super nice, and her friends, and then Quad. So I got to hang out with Quad a little bit afterwards and stayed up way too late. Saturday, woke up, I go to lunch, and I was really excited to vlog this. And guess what? No, I went to bed at 5. How long did I DJ for? I forget exactly. I feel like it was a little slower than we had all hoped for because it's post-COVID, so everything is a bit of a struggle right now. But I don't know, it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like they booked me for 2 hours. And And they were like, okay, you could stop whenever you want. And I was like, I'll keep going. Like, whatever. And then they were like, all right. Usually they have somebody close out. But I was like, I'll close. This is, you know, I'll close out. Whatever. Anyway, so Saturday afternoon, went to go eat dim sum. And then I bust out my camera when I get there to shoot the outside of the place. And oh, what do you know? The camera battery was dead. So I didn't get anything from lunch, which I was really disappointed out. But the good news is, at my hotel, I went back to my hotel right after lunch. I got, I started charging the camera battery. And I brought my streaming phone. So at least after lunch, while the battery was charging, I was able to vlog from that. And I went to the Japanese tea garden, walked around there. So I got footage there. And then the promoter had invited me to this show Saturday night. So we actually didn't have that much time because the show was starting at 7:30. So like we went back to the hotel. I got the camera. Battery was fully charged. Went to this show called Dear San Francisco at Club Fugazi. This show was so cool, you guys. If you are in San Francisco, you have to see it. It's part acrobatics, it's part experimental theater, and I don't want to call it a musical because like that would turn me off if somebody told me that, but there is music. But I don't want to call it a musical because it's not. But it's basically a love letter to San Francisco, and every single person in the show was so freaking talented. You guys have no idea. And just, it was so well thought out and so well curated from start to finish. And just like the opening of it was so emotional. I think especially coming out of this pandemic and being able to see
That's Where I Live smile.
Coming out of this pandemic and being able to be in a theater and see a live performance and this catharsis that like for me it was a catharsis for me being able to like witness this and enjoy it, but I can imagine for these performers as well. But they were so talented, you guys. So they definitely had a soundtrack that was recorded music that went throughout different sections of the show. And then they had some of the performers actually played guitar and bass and sang as well. So it was really cool. The show is called Dear San Francisco. It's at Club Fugazi. And I read that comment. That made me laugh, Road Jogger. I got distracted. But, what the heck? Okay, now we're really distracted. Hold that thought. I'm Butler Nuts. Thank you for the tier 1. Airbrusher, thank you for the 12 months. You got your new golden badge. Corby Dallas, thank you for the 36 months. Sasuke, thank you for the tier 3 months. Welcome back. And thank you for the 100 gifted subs, man. What? I don't even know how to mini to do for 100. I'm gonna do 10. Yeah, because this thing's gonna break. Oh. 10 for the... Oh! Ah!
Tio, do you also do quinceañera and bar mitzvahs?
Alright, I gotta come up with... I gotta find a new something. We gotta get something so we don't wear this out. Sasuke, thank you for those 100 gifted subs. I'm Butler Nuts. Thank you for the gifted sub. J-Mo, thank you for the 100 All right, we're gonna go 10. Ooh, another 10. For 100 subs, we should get a real fart. I can't fart on command because I don't fart at all. Come on. JMO, thank you for the 100. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Going straight to that New York IRL goal. Thank you so much. Okay, so where the heck, where did I forget where I was? Where did I leave off? I tried this new lipstick today. It's already wearing off. Oh, you got the picture. Awesome. Glad you got it. Yay. So, okay, the Dear San Francisco show. All right. Yeah, it was so impressive. Like, I'm gonna buy people tickets for this show. That's how much I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Had a fun time in SF. You confettied all over me, playful face.
Okay.
So, apparently a lot of the performers are, or were, part of Cirque du Soleil. So imagine this level of talent, but in a smaller, more intimate venue. Like you take away all that high level production value, which is like part of the thing that makes Cirque du Soleil enjoyable and draws people in. But with this stripped down in a smaller theater, you really see up close and personal how great these people are. And somebody said to me, they're great, and they're not just San Francisco great, which is hilarious because, you know, you can say that about any city, right? People always make comments or jokes like that. Like, something can be enjoyable for your city, but could it like work, or could it survive somewhere else? And I think it really could. But yeah, it is a small production though, you guys, and it's the tickets are definitely not Cirque du Soleil prices either. So if you're in the Bay Area or surrounding areas, I would highly recommend you check that show out. Really, really good. And you're supporting the arts. So yeah, small productions like this, you know, they can get all the support that they can. Fina, thank you for the 8 months. Cooley, thank you for the 4 months. Welcome back. Empty Nutcase, thank you for the 12 months. Oh, they start on time.
Hello.
I think you're definitely that's either a copy pasta or you're typing in the wrong chat. Ooh, fever, that sucks. K-Drone, thank you for the sub. Welcome to my stream. Thanks so much. Welcome. Your only working computer won't start? That sucks.
Okay.
Was the weather nice besides the wind? It was a little colder than I would have liked it to be. and way too windy. So I actually realized I'm thinking about all the footage I got. Let's see. So that was Saturday night. And then we had dinner afterwards. And then we went back to Temple. And then had another long night. And then Sunday, which was yesterday. I was in line when you're doing the fart noises. Yesterday, let's see. I'm spacing. Oh, okay. I didn't get my Peking duck fix, you guys. I didn't get my Peking duck fix. So, packed up all my stuff, left the bags at the hotel, checked out, went to a place that somebody recommended me, and it said they had duck. But then I got there and it said you have to order 1 day in advance, and I was like, dang, this hurts. I should have called, man. So whatever, we ate. I didn't actually vlog that because yesterday I was in pain. I was pretty tired. I didn't sleep good either night because I was just going to bed that late. I could not sleep well and I needed my bed. So yeah, I was too tired to vlog that. Then after that, took a walk to Alamo Square Park. Got some footage of Alamo Square Park. And then after that, went to Japantown inside the mall there with all the shops. And yeah. I bought something. I'm gonna just a little something. It's actually a surprise. Like, I don't know what's inside of it, but it had a cat on it. So I'm gonna record that offline for my vlog and add it to my vlog. And then got some snacks at the Japanese store, the Japanese market, and some
Sasha,
tea.
I love you.
Because there's this green tea that's actually genmaicha that I love, that I can only find in Sacramento or in San Francisco. They don't sell it in LA at the Japanese stores here. You could find other genmaicha here, but this one is my favorite. It's the best one. So I got my favorite tea, and I got some other stuff that, like, I don't know why you just can't find. I got some wafers, green tea wafers. What else? Yeah, just a few snacks. The snacks I could find here, but except the wafers. Then let's see. Yeah, it just, like, the day went by so quickly. So did that. Got a matcha latte. Have to do that. And I tried a yuzu soft serve ice cream. That was good. And then it was already time to go. Ubered back to the hotel. Got my bags. Left to the airport around 7. But I didn't get home until 11 at night. My flight was a little bit delayed, but it was just like... So it just felt like one thing after another. Didn't get home till 11. But guess what? I managed to find a place that was open last night, and I had Korean barbecue at midnight. It was actually pretty awesome. I was starving and I had no food at my house. So I was like, well, home at 11, no options. I'm definitely not cooking. I'm super tired. And went and ate food. And then by the time I got home and, like, washed my face, didn't go to bed till 3. Anyways, it was a very long weekend. I slept until 12 today. I was so tired, but at least I, like, slept fully. Got good sleep, but I'm still kind of tired, you know?
Some angry woman with road rage yelled out her car window, "I'm gonna make your life a living hell." I shouted back, Thanks, but I'm not looking for a relationship right now.
Thank you for the 10, Mac.
Hi Sasha, hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend, hope your DJ gig went well. WrestleMania Backlash was lit and I was shocked to see Rich Strike win the Kentucky Derby. All in all it was a great weekend, hope you have a great stream tonight. Smile.
Ad Arma, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Pato, thank you for that sub. Zardonic, thank you for the 4 months. Welcome back. Cooksta, thank you for the 690. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, you guys. What's up, Van Hernan? Thank you for the 29 months. So yeah, it was a very long, very, very long weekend. But it was just, I have to say, it was much needed. My friend came up with me from LA. That was cool. So we had late night talks. Late night drinking talks. It was really fun and it just much needed, man. I've not done that in a long freaking time. Why am I talking about San Francisco? Because I was just there over the weekend DJing. I can imagine those conversations now. At least there was no crying involved. No, it got deep though. It got deep. She and I have both lost our dads, so yeah, just so you know, it got deep, man. But then the next day we're like, man, I needed that. I needed that. But I like when you can have those conversations and it's not like all tears. It's more just like, it's being able to have a conversation.
Okay.
Whoa, it was loud.
For the trip, thanks for the many years.
That awkward moment when the woman you're dancing behind bends over so you can grind it. But, it turns out she just dropped an earring, and no one else in McDonald's can hear the music on your iPod.
Sasuke out here with the 1,000 donation going towards our IRL New York goal. What? Thank you, Sasuke. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't, like, there's no... I'm gonna give you another 10 because I don't know where to go with this. Oh! Oh, that was good. Mac, thank you for the 10. Thank you for another 10. Oh, yeah. She should have known I was going to hear the music on your iPod. Oh, my God. Oh, dude. Thanks. Thanks to both of you. Thank you very much. We'll talk about that in just a minute, too. It's dying. The poop is dying. Someone's going to need a wet wipe. So yeah, it was good. Like, it was much needed for both of us. But it was nice. Like, it's nice to be able to have these conversations with somebody that has gone through the exact same thing, but in an incredibly different way, but they've experienced that loss. So like, there's this shared thing that allows you to bond in a different way. So it was nice. It was much needed. And it's nice to like have those conversations, also without having to cry, you know, to be able to like get it out, but not feeling exhausted and overly emotional to where it's just like a cry fest. Even though cry fest can be good. It can also be needed and it's healthy. But it was definitely much needed. Anyways, to all the people talking crap about San Francisco, don't. I love San Francisco. It's a place that, yes, has changed a lot. Yes, a lot of the spirit and authenticity was drowned out by gentrification. But there are still pockets of it. There are still things that are unique to San Francisco, and I love it. Every big city has its own problems. Every small city has its own problems. In most big cities, you're gonna overpay and probably be a little bit disappointed. That's just how it is. And I think that's why people actually need to travel more. I think people need to travel more. Makes you grateful for what you have. And it allows you to see how other people live and how other people struggle as well. And yes, San Francisco has always had a homeless problem, but let's not criminalize homelessness. Let's not criminalize people that need real help.
To the woman with the 6 screaming kids in Walmart, if you are wondering how those box of condoms got in your cart, you are welcome.
Mac, thank you for another 10. Oh my god. Overkill 530, thank you for the sub. Welcome to my stream. Gustavo, thank you for the 15 months. Thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I absolutely love San Francisco, you guys. I always have. And for a long time, I thought I would actually live there. It's really a place where most of the people, of course, not everyone, but the people just feel different, man. It's a place where you can go to like discover yourself and also be yourself. And that's what always attracted me to San Francisco. Is San Francisco pricier than LA these days? I definitely think it has been for the last like 12 years. But then my friend and I were walking near Alamo Square Park, and she was looking on her phone like, oh, let's see what the prices are here, you know, on just rentals. And it's still really expensive. I think a studio apartment was like over $2,000. So yeah, it's outrageous. But something else that's really interesting is when I was talking to Paul, the owner of Temple, and he was saying that there's been like a mass exodus, and a lot of people, and especially a lot of money people, have left San Francisco. So it's interesting to see what will happen next. A lot of people left LA too, but I don't feel like the money left. But LA still doesn't feel like it's back. LA is still sad to me. And I know you can say it's all about your perspective on things, but no, it's still sad to me. Eight Lou, thank you for the gifted sub. Thanks so much. Mitra Neo, thank you for the raid. What's up, raiders? Welcome.
I have started to sleep with a dildo under my pillow in case of an intruder. Nobody wants to be hit with a dildo.
Oh my god. I love it. Still convinced LA isn't a real place. San Francisco got pretty crazy and it hasn't recovered. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it will, you know, how do we bounce back from this? What's the main difference between LA and San Francisco? San Francisco is a real city. San Francisco is a real metropolitan city. You can walk around. There's public transportation that is, for the most part, reliable.
Please, save Farty McFart Fart. Maybe use the fart machine to save him.
Yeah, you can walk around. It's in terms of because it is a city, it feels so much more diverse. And yes, it still has its own issues. Of course, if you saw especially during the height of the pandemic, there was a lot of attacks against Asian people, especially elderly Asian people. So yeah, and it's not without its problems, but at least when I'm there, I enjoy the feeling that like the diversity is real and it's thriving. And well, of course, it's not warm like LA. But that's like and the people, for the most part, people are also different, because you're not, you know, LA is a place where people come to chase their dreams, and so a large component of that is, of course, a lot of people looking to use each other. And again, you get that in any city. You get that in any big city, which is competitive, right? But yeah, LA just hits different when it comes to like how superficial it can be. And you also really feel, you still really feel the effects of segregation in LA, because it's so spread out and because it's not a metropolis. You really do feel the lasting effects of segregation. And of course, different neighborhoods have been gentrified over the years. But yeah, those are probably the biggest differences. Extreme Cream Dream, thank you for the 3 months. Tigger, thank you for the 333. Mac, thank you for another 10. Thank you so much. Yeah, both cities are very diverse, though. At least that's something I'm really grateful for. What's the movie that gives the best sense of how LA really feels like? Chinatown. Would people rather visit LA or San Francisco as a first-time visitor? Ooh, man, I don't know. I've met a lot of people that just hate San Francisco. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think that's impossible to answer.
If I had $1 for every girl that found me unattractive, at some point, some of them would find me attractive.
What? You got me there. You got me there, Mac. Thank you for another 10. What's the best place to visit for someone that never got out of Europe? For some reason, I've always found that Europeans love the desert. They are enamored by the desert because it's so drastically different from what they're used to seeing. So a lot of people like to come to visit LA, and then afterwards they take a trip to like Palm Springs or Joshua Tree. I had my friend that was just here also just went to like Monument Valley, Death Valley as well. Yeah. I get it. I get it now, Mac. That's okay. I got you, Mac. Okay. That's an LA joke right there, Mac. Yeah, that one took me a second because I'm reading chat at the same time. That's a broad generalization. Well, luckily it's a joke. That's a broad generalization. Was also a joke. Yes. Oh, man. So, that was my weekend. What happened to that high-speed rail from San Francisco to LA? There are too many... I actually don't know the actual most recent updates about it, but we were talking about that when we were there because there is a building right next to the Temple and Mirrors building, which is supposed to be one of the train stations, and they also built like a small outdoor park on the rooftop. But let's look. Actually, I don't know the real reason, but I mean, first of all, I know there was a lot happening in terms of landowners that own the land that would need to be purchased or bought out, taken from these people in order to have the train pass through certain parts of California. That was like one of the first things I said years ago when they were first started talking about it. Like, that's going to be difficult. Just use public transportation. Public transportation in Southern California is awful. And if you're talking about going from Northern to Southern California, unless you're taking the Greyhound bus, which I don't know anybody that wants to do that. It's like the worst thing you could possibly do. Doesn't exist. This is just like a quick blip. It says, they say the state's schedule for completion of 119 miles by December 2023 is impossible, and a more likely outcome would put completion anywhere from 2026 to 2030.
When I offer to wash her back in the shower, all you have to say is yes or no. Not all of this. Who are you? How did you get in here? Nonsense. BTW, I am glad that you got that last joke. I enjoy broad generalizations. 2. Smile.
Back. Thank you for another 10. Used to love Greyhound. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up a Greyhound experience. You did the Greyhound from Panhandle, Florida to Ohio and back. Oh, dang. Okay, let's see the official website, which... California high-speed rail will connect the majors and the system will run from San Francisco to LA in under 3 hours at speeds capable of 200 miles per hour. It'll eventually extend to Sacramento and San Diego, totaling 800 miles with up to 24 stations. The authority is working with regional partners to implement a statewide rail modernization plan that will invest billions of dollars in local and regional rail lines to meet the state's 21st century transportation needs. Like, we are just so far behind. We're so far behind. Let's see what's happening. Twitter mobile looks fine. Oh, Twitter on browser says nothing to see here. Looks like this page doesn't exist. So Twitter doesn't exist anymore? And it's a white poodle. Your browser is fine? Twitter browser is not working. For Fluffy, it's working though. I'm gonna show you guys right now. 2120. Because there's 94 tabs open. I'm on Chrome. My dirty lens. There you go. My Twitter mobile is looking fine though. What else? Okay, yeah, who knows? The website doesn't say anything specific, of course.
I got in my van and drove from New York all the way out to Death Valley on a photo trip. Got to take some great pictures. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit Yosemite due to the wildfire. Gotta say $5.56 a gallon gas in Death Valley was a bit of shock.
Dang. Was that that sounds like it had to have been recently, Mac. Thank you for another 10. Oh, yes. That sucks you couldn't go to Yosemite, though. I would pick Yosemite over Death Valley, probably. Copenhagen, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you so much. Yes, we're 66 subs away from a new emote. I'm trying to see if there are any. Here we go. There's an article from a San Francisco publication. Sad. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. The high-speed rail project is tens of billions of dollars over budget and years behind schedule, with critics lambasting as a major boondoggle that should be scrapped. If ever completed, the bullet train project, now projected to cost $105 billion, of which just over $10 billion has been spent so far, would be the single largest infrastructure investment in state history. It's also proven incredibly contentious among state leaders, with Assembly Democrats still refusing to give Governor Gavin Newsom a $4.2 billion appropriation for the project that he requested more than a year ago. And for many Californians, the project is still very much an abstraction because they don't live in places where they can see it being built.
Not as funny but curious about the DJ gigs. Do you have a schedule of performances?
Schedule. I love the voice. Ice Ice Mocha, thank you for the 17 months. Infern, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Sasuke, thank you for that hundo. What? Oh, 2. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Pliable Goat, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Schedule, darling. Schedule. Okay, so I spam my social media whenever I get a gig. I also update my website. It'll always be there, and post stuff in announcements on Discord. So I spread it out everywhere. I think it's like usually also posted on sites like Resident Advisor and Bands in Town. But yeah, my website, I guess, is usually the best. That being said, I'm still not regularly like going out to DJ that much. It'll be on Twitter, but you know, like I post a lot on Twitter, so it could get drowned out. So let's see. It's like the current building project. It says it's employing a lot of people in the Central Valley, which is great.
Cheers.
Dude! We are... What? Sasuke out here dropping another 1,000. You are out of your mind. Thank you, Sasuke. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, once we're done with this train article, we'll talk a little bit about New York. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Okay. Supply issues. Yeah, man, other people think that it's never going to bring change for like economic game changer. Some people think it's going to be a money pit. It's a rail that goes nowhere. It's going from Bakersfield to Merced. It's supposed to go to LA to San Francisco at $300 billion at the end of 35 years. We'll all be dead and gone by the time it's up and running. They got... Biden administration restored nearly billions of dollars in federal funding for the project that had been cut by the Trump administration. A 90-mile extension was approved. And that's it. It's like there's just not a whole lot there. Politics is most of it in bureaucracy. Yeah, not a whole lot. Somebody asked a few moments ago, but I was like in the middle of reading that and then all of this going on. Were there any nerves DJing? Oh yeah, a little bit. I was just really at like couple weeks leading up to the gig, I was just so excited, man. I was just really excited to be back. Then night of, yeah, a little bit at first, and then after like 15 minutes into it, I was good. But I felt like so out of, not out of actual practice, but so out of practice from not being in the club. I was like, dang, I never had to request this before, but now in the future I will.
The photo trip was in 2019. I wish that I had boobs. Frankly, the last thing I need is people making eye contact with me.
Oh man, Mac, thank you for the 10. Thank you. What the heck was I gonna say? Distracted me. Oh, okay. Since I have not been in a club in so long, sometimes clubs automatically have it and you could always ask for one, but in the future I'm gonna have to make sure to request like a small light, because I couldn't see anything. It was pitch black. It was pitch freaking black. So a lot of the times I was like hunched over looking, I couldn't see. Okay, last anecdote, and then we'll talk about New York. Yeah, so they had like lights, but they have the sound engineer on site, and then they who makes sure like the whole club sounds great, right? And then they have somebody doing graphics and lighting. And so they do change the light in real time, right? And when they put on the overhead lights, it was fine. And then they would like turn them off. It just goes with the music as they wish. But they had also changed the lighting there. So then when the overhead lights were on, it was like almost too much. Yeah, it was a little bit different than it was before. Did I take video? Yes, I vlogged the whole weekend. So I will actually, I was going to do it before stream. I didn't have time because I needed sleep, but I vlogged everything. I need to take all the footage off of the SD card and upload it for one of my editors to start editing that. And then my friend got video on her phone too, so I actually got to get some. I'm gonna ask her for her phone video, like her vertical video. So yeah, I'll have stuff for socials and for YouTube as well. I didn't shoot the whole thing, obviously, because like one, I can't use that on. Okay, here it's twofold. One, I can't use that because of DMCA stuff, right? That's one problem. But two, after doing the vlog with Cesarito, I really realized how much gets cut. So I tried not to shoot too much, because then I realized it's impossible to get all of that footage into 15-20 minutes anyways. So I try to think a lot about what I was getting over the weekend. I actually shot some of that show Dear San Francisco too, so hopefully there's like I can get 30 seconds of that in the vlog. The only thing, because I'm still learning how to vlog because it's so much different than streaming live, is I know for a fact I didn't get a lot of footage with myself in it, because it's except the stuff at Temple that has me in it. But like just going around doing stuff, it's not the same dynamic as when I do it live. So it'll be interesting to see how it's all edited together. Okay, last anecdote about the weekend, which is that I fell. Thankfully, only a few people saw. And I fell like Mario. I was DJing at Temple in San Francisco. So it was pitch black where I was.
This may be out of line, but I am curious. When life depresses you, do you look down and think, at least I have great boobs?
Oh my god, Mac, thank you for the 10. What? No, I'm more like, at least there's some birds outside. Oh, look at this nature. Did you say, it's a Mario, when you fell? No. Man, okay. So it's pitch black. There were 2 benches, which I thought met each other in a corner. Right? I thought they were attached. Like this. Oh no, they weren't. There was a gap in between them. So somebody handed me something and they were like, can you put this over there? And I turn and I like put my right knee on the bench and I was just kind of gonna slide over. No, I was completely, I hadn't had anything to drink at that point. So no, which is almost like even more sad, right? Like at least I have nothing to blame it on. So I go to slide over like this, and because there was that gap there, I'm still actually trying to replay it in my mind. I don't know exactly what happened, but it felt like it happened in 2 stages where I sort of I started to fall, and then because I had that knee down already on the bench, I was like this leg falls, but then my arm stays up, and then my left leg goes like this. It was really weird. Anyways, my leg hurt and my shoulder hurt really bad. Today it felt much better. It was awkward. It was really awkward. My friend was like, I turned around and it looked like you were in a hole. like you were sticking out of a hole.
Okay.
Good night, beauty.
I watched your vlogs. The guys in your vlogs recognized you and wanted selfies, and their girlfriends were standing back like, who's this girl? That's actually incorrect. That is not correct at all. Girls are not, generally speaking, of course, you have Justin Bieber fans, you have K-pop fans. But girls are not as fanatic as dudes, generally speaking. A cliff is a cliff. Luke Cow, thank you for the 7 months. Dark Epic, thank you for the 28 months. Mika9, thank you for the sub. Welcome to my stream. I think, in generally speaking, and this is another broad generalization, yes, there are less fanatics when it comes to women. Gonna have to disagree on this one. Well, you can go to any concert, any event, other than like the highest peak of pop shows. Everything below that and in between that, there are always more dudes. Broad generalization should be a stream segment in its own right. I'm gonna grab some water. and we'll talk about New York. Of course, we're trying to find chicks. He said it, not me. What? I didn't see her. Quad said, what do you mean? You had two girls big time fangirling over you at the club. They were standing left side crying as you were DJing. One had the love shirt. The other one had I have what you gave shirt. When we left, the DJ standing left side legit crying as you passed them. I might have seen their faces, but not their shirts. That's awesome. I love it. Okay, I'll be right back. I have to get some water. Maybe I'll get a snack.
I phoned a Chinese restaurant last night and the man who answered said, "Hello, I'm Wan King the chef." I said, "No worries, I'll call back later." I so hate uneven numbers, poggers.
You guys are both nuts. Mac, thank you for another 10. Sasuke, thank you for 306 and 82 cents.
Hi, Sasha.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Thanks, you guys. Wikio, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back. So New York. New York. City of Dreams. Let's see. Okay. Goal is to go to New York and stream IRL. We've never done IRL streams in New York. We have not done IRL streams since September. So, planning to do something for the second week of June. But we have to hit that goal like by the end of this stream week. Because I need to book flights and I can't book flights last minute or like then the whole budget goes to flights and that would suck. So I'm excited. I think it would be a lot of fun. It's not a lot of time though in this week.
After 56 years of life, I can say one really big difference between men and women is that if a woman says, "Smell this," it will usually smell nice.
Okay.
Oh my god. Mac, thank you for another 10. Thank you, thank you. Gradsmere, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. I'm trying to eat. Sorry. So, oh man, I'm getting distracted now. I'm laughing too much. Drive to New York IRL, that would prove to be very difficult for content. The few times we had to do driving content, the signal would cut out quite a lot last summer. Also, when you are driving, if you're the one physically driving the car, you can't have chat open because Twitch will ban you. It's against TOS because it's a safety issue. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. But if we make it to New York, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I've not been back to New York in a few years now. And what did I want to say? Oh yeah, okay, so this week's schedule is a little bit different because I was off this past weekend. So I'm streaming today. Here, I posted it on Discord already, but I forget what I said. So I need to open it and I'll read it out loud to you guys. So streaming today, no stream tomorrow. And then I'll stream Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then I'm going to take off Saturday and Sunday. Then I'll be back next Monday again. And then next Tuesday, no stream. And then I don't have my schedule till after that because I'm trying to plan some stream ideas, some guests for stream. I don't know where that's at yet. I sent out follow-up emails today. So I'm trying to plan around those things. Do I do meet and greets with fans before and after gigs? You know what I realized? Because I was thinking of that the other day, being back in San Francisco, is meet and greets, I feel, have always been more popular when I go to foreign places. But sometimes clubs here will still do it as like a ticket sales incentive, right? It's like, get your ticket, enter. And I've done that even at Temple, like enter for a chance to win a meet and greet. So yes and no. It kind of depends on the club. Yeah, book signings are definitely different because it's like just about that. Okay, so yeah, New York. That's our schedule for this week. Gotta hit that goal by the end of this week, and I know that's not a lot of time. So hopefully we'll hit it. But if we don't hit the goal for our IRL New York trip, I'll figure out a good way to reserve that amount we've raised so far and apply it to something else in the very near future. Most likely summer stuff, and use it for what we got to do this summer. I'm trying to figure that out right now. I want to plan better than I planned last year. And what I mean by that is last year I learned a lot about IRL streaming, and anything I do IRL in the future, I need to give myself more days off because I really didn't do that. I think the longest I had off last summer was like 3 days, and I was just so burnt out by the end. So I want to do it differently. I want to have a base where I can stream from my laptop, and then pick specific days where I know I can go places and do IRL streams, and the content is just jam-packed with cool stuff to do. And I think that will be less stressful. And then if anything happens where like, okay, the signal sucks, or that city was awful for signal, so I got to make up for it, at least I'll have the base where I know like, okay, at least I can go here and I can stream from my laptop and I don't have to stress out over it. Yes. So I've actually been planning this for a couple months. Like I've been thinking about summer plans for a couple months already. And where I would like to have a base set up is just not easy. I've reached out to several people finding cool spots, but then of course the problem is always the internet. So there's that. I've seen quite a few New York streams from other streamers, so I think we should be good. And like, I'm gonna condense, like for New York, for instance, I'm gonna condense it into a few days. So like, it's not I'm going to New York and then I'm going to upstate New York and then I'm going to Boston and then I'm going to Vermont. You know, I'm not gonna like go all around to different places, so I can not be so stressed out by you're welcome, Fluffy. So I won't be stressed out about like having to move from different places and miss trains, or you know, that was so stressful last year. Anyways, I'll be going to one place, condensed amount of time, and I know, okay, it's gonna happen. This is it. We have to do this. We have to make it happen, and then that's it. And then I'm back home, and then I'm streaming here. Much better, in my opinion. Oh my god.
Excellent!
Gap closed. What was the joke? Oh yeah, only guys would look down and enjoy their boobs. Two of my friends have never met each other. Before they spoke,
how are you guys like coordinating these?
They shouted at each other for a few minutes before they realized that I'm Justin Basehole. LOL.
You guys, I swear you guys are coordinating these. This is so weird, but so amazing. Elcio, thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. Sasuke. Thank you for the 1,980. And Mac, thank you for another 10. Two of my... Oh my god, that's a good one. Thank you both. Thank you so much. I don't even know where to take this number. So let's give 21. I don't know why. No, I'm gonna do, you know what I'm gonna do? 13. Lucky 13. my god. Dude, seriously, thanks you guys. I can't believe it's a 1 hour fart stream now. We made that dono. We're going to New York. We're going to New York. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, this is cool. So tomorrow I'm gonna start planning everything. I'm gonna book everything tomorrow because I'm not streaming tomorrow. So I'm gonna be like, okay, we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna eat a hot dog for Corby. I said it.
Okay.
I said it last week. Que pasa, New York. Sorry, let me mute my phone. I don't usually have, I don't know why it's on. Oh yeah, I had somebody come to my house earlier today, so I had to keep my phone on. Start spreading the news. I told chat, if we make it to New York, I will eat a street dog for Corby. I actually, when I got my ice cream in San Francisco yesterday and I was recording the vlog, I started eating it and I was like, nope, too hot for YouTube. I'm not recording myself eating that. If you want to hurt yourself in New York, there are better ways than eating a dirty hot dog. Oh, man. Gotta be Coney. Okay. Fun fact. Fun fact. I have never been to Coney Island. I've been to New York a lot. Never been to Coney Island. Ever kill a man? I think 0 trips to Coney is a suggested lifetime trips. Is it like... Okay, how many New Yorkers do we have in chat? Is Coney Island like dreams of yesteryear? A weird shell of its former self, like Atlantic City Boardwalk? Yeah, that's why I've never gone. Yeah, it doesn't sound... I've never wanted to go. Not that... Obviously, it's not the same. It's two very different places, but... I've been to Atlantic City. I've been to the Atlantic City Boardwalk, and it's really a shell of its former self, and it's just kind of sad. And that's how I've always imagined Coney Island. They sell toothbrushes there. It's like that old playground you pass by and you're like, man, that looks fun, just not for me. Yeah. Spatial Coder, thank you for the 7 months. What ideas do you have for New York streams, or do you want to keep it a surprise? Well, let's see. Let me... Like tomorrow, I'll spend some time. Okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna have a busy day. I have a lot to catch up on. I need to schedule some stuff for next week. For next week's streams. I'm gonna book the flights for New York. I'm gonna start looking into the hotel. Okay, you want to know what I was gonna say to you guys? But then I looked at the prices. I was like, "There's no way." I was gonna increase the goal for New York, and I was gonna say if we hit this goal, we'll do Home Alone 2, and I'll stay at the hotel that Kevin stayed at. But then I was like, this is ridiculous, and the rooms are just like, ugh. They're not. You're paying for the history and location of the hotel.
GPS. Not only does it tell me how to get to my destination, it tells me why I wanted to go there.
Oh my god. Mac, why? Because your short-term memory is worse than mine? Thank you for the 10. Ooh.
Taking a page out the Mac's book, Coney Island is great if you are looking for crack.
Oh my god. Are these the same people? Are you guys? I'm so confused right now. You guys are really going back to back. This is freaking hilarious. Sasuke, thank you for another 10. Mac, thank you for another 10 once again. Thank you so much. We have... Fluffy said, hey, want me to tweak the Goldie? We have achieved goal. Maybe for Coney Island crack dealers. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm waiting here. Maxuke. Okay, so actually, I just put out a random tweet last week. So I haven't actually had much time to think of other ideas for New York. I just know that New York is going to be a great place, I think, for IRL streams. And it's New York City. So, like, even if we're just walking and talking, we're going to find interesting stuff. Warriors, come out and play. Okay. That's New York, you guys. I'm going to start looking into stuff tomorrow. I'm going to try and book everything tomorrow. And then, what else?
Crack on my hot dog. Sounds like an average New Year's Eve.
That's like a double entendre, man. Thank you for the 10 Sasuke. Oh, man. I don't think we'll have a lot of snipes. I could be wrong. I don't think we will, though. I don't think we'll have a lot of snipes in New York. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll start planning tomorrow. I feel like there's something else I wanted to tell you guys just about all of this and weekend and stuff, but I'm drawing a blank. Oh my god, Fluffy. Tim, thank you for the 31 months. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'll tell you one idea I had. Actually. So, it won't work, by the way. So that's what I'm telling you guys. I was watching Daredevil. And there was this whole scene where they were using these tunnels. And then I started getting really interested in... I've always been fascinated by underground cities, right? Like, even my hometown of Sacramento has an underground to it. And you can do tours of it. But yeah, I've always been fascinated by, like, underground cities or tunnels or places that have been abandoned. So... I started looking up stuff because of watching this. I started looking up different tunnels around New York and the history of different tunnels around New York, and how some are actually like straight up abandoned, but a lot of people still explore them, and you can always find ways, right? Anyways, and then I started watching them like build new subway lines, and that was fascinating. So I got in like this YouTube loop of watching how they drill through these tunnels. Oh, so cool. Anyways, I thought it would be cool to like try and find somebody that knows what's up with that stuff and tour some tunnels. But obviously, I won't be able to stream that because of signal. I'm still going to look into it though. And if I can find somebody that's a guide or knows what's up, I might do like I might take like an hour to 2 hours and go film it anyways on the new camera. Cause I think it's so fascinating, man. It's called Blockbuster by my house that people use as a toilet now. Bum. You saw a rat once chasing a dog in New York. Dang. So yeah, I actually I didn't see too many. You see a lot of like news publications covering these different underground cities or underground tunnels, but not a lot of bloggers. So I think it could be cool.
Please don't explore tunnels in New York City. The Big Apple is a wee bit more dangerous than you may have remembered.
Mac, thank you for the 10. Thank you for another 10. Thank you so much. Oh, that was juicy. I wouldn't do it alone, though. I would only do it with somebody that's very experienced. I want to just be like, woohoo, going into the sewer. This is not Ninja Turtles. I never said that, Fluffy. Fluffy's trying to kill my reputation, man.
In NYC you could find the Loch Ness Monster and Jack the Ripper's love child in those tunnels.
Sasuke, thank you for another 10. Dude, you really could though, right? You really could. Where can I get one of those that'll replace my fidget spinner? Somebody sent it to me. We saw this James Toronto's creator projects when you James creator. Ah. It's presently closed to the public. And oh man, this would be so cool. Yeah. That wouldn't be streamable, but I could, if I could find a way in, I would definitely film it. T-Tud, thank you for the sub. Welcome to my stream. I love a dark tunnel. Thoughts about Europe? I love going to visit there, absolutely. Hope to make it back soon. Snack. Haven't we learned anything from Resident Evil sewers?
I am here to explore the big questions. I just ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know.
What's up, Giovanni? You'll be at MoMA next week building a screen for work? Whose show is it? Oh, I miss Sicily. I've not seen the Book of Mormon or Phantom of the Opera. I would see the Book of Mormon. I don't really have any interest in Phantom of the Opera. I saw Mother Effer with the Hat with Chris Rock. And what's his name? Oh man. Bobby Cannavale. Dude, that guy's so talented. When it comes to staged productions in theatrical settings, my interests are more, like, not counting a live band. My interests are more in line with theater, opera, and experimental theater. Don't really have interest in musicals. Phantom of the Opera is not the kind of opera I like, though. Very commercial. It's Quint for the win. Thank you for the 20 months. Mac, I was eating a snack. That rhymed. Didn't mean it to. Thank you for another 10. Let us know how your science experiment goes. I've seen, like, a video version of it. You know, like on film. That's how I know. Oh, and of course, things like I saw the other day. The Dear San Francisco show. Banana chips? No. Cosplay as Electra while you're in New York. That's not very hard. It's just like a black mask, and then I'm just gonna look like I'm still wearing a mask because of COVID.
Please remember, just because I give you advice, it doesn't mean I know more than you. It just means that I've done more stupid stuff than most people.
Some extra walking around cash. I have season tickets for the opera in San Francisco this next season.
How are you guys so in time with each other? You're so in sync. You're so in sync. Mac, thank you for another 10. Sasuke, thank you for another 100. It is magic. Matsuke. Thanks, you guys. Look, you can experiment stuff for us, Mac. I'm into it. We just got $100 hot dog allowance. Yay. You have season tickets for opera in San Francisco. Oh, that's awesome. In San Francisco. Nice. Oh, I would see, even though I'm not big on musicals, I would see Hamilton and I would see Book of Mormon.
Just to make things not even.
Mm. What was the last show I saw? Last show I saw was... Oh. Cinderella at LA Opera.
Terry's no actual magic, but he is my Manitou. We are basically in sync in the Native American spirit realm.
I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you for the 10, Sasuke. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, last show I saw was Cinderella at LA Opera. By Rossini. It's nothing like the Disney. I mean, it's much different than what you would expect when you grew up with the Disney Cinderella. I did like it. Yeah, I really like the music. In Italian, it's La Cerentola. La Cerentola. Yeah, I really like the music. Costumes are cool too. Oh, last time I was in New York and I went to the Guggenheim. I saw these people talking to security and they were vlogging and they let them vlog. And I remember the vloggers were super thankful, like, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And it clearly happened on the spot. Like they just arrived and asked. So that could actually be cool. I could try to do that. We could try to go to Guggenheim. Guggenheim's awesome. MoMA might be more difficult to do. I feel like that's a place that would really want advance permission. Like when I did Mocha in LA. I had to get advance permission. Ooh, Moon Knight is all the way out. I highly recommend you watch all of it, even if you never read the comic book. Can you stream the Getty in LA? I talked to Ginny actually when I met Ginny in LA, and she was asking like what I wanted to do. I actually recommended the Getty. I said, let's go to the Getty. And she said she had just gone to the Getty and streamed on her previous trip to LA, and it was awful, which really sucks because of signal. Which sucks because the Getty is, first of all, just the location itself is beautiful. You couldn't take pictures in the Getty? Okay, there you go. I've definitely taken pictures in the Getty. I've definitely taken pictures there. But yeah, they're pretty, I feel like they're pretty strict anyways. It might be difficult. The Peterson Car Museum.
God damn it, Fluffy.
What is happening? Hold on, I'm gonna forget my train of thought. Oh. Peterson Museum, I've been to. I really enjoyed it. I have a feeling based on how the inside of the building is, I bet you the signal would be awful. I just have a feeling. I could go back and check though.
Last one. Did you know when a cougar gets so old she needs a hearing aid, she becomes a deaf leopard? BTW. I asked my wife if I could go to NYC to shout Sasha across a crowded airport. So far her answer is no. Frown.
Sasuke out here with the 806.67. Mac out here with another 10. In sync, you guys. You guys are in sync.
Sasuke.
The Malcry. thank you for the 7 months. Fluffy, thank you for the 333. Thank you so much, you guys. I again with I don't know where to go with these numbers, so I'm gonna do another lucky 13. I think that was 13. I lost count laughing. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, thank you. Planetarium. Ooh, I bet you this signal will suck. Yes! This is a Friday the 13th. I don't remember the last time we had a Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th. They're so fun. Friday's gonna be lit, you guys. Friday's gonna be super fun. Advana, thank you for the 11 months. And almost a full moon. Oh, yeah. Maybe we should do movie night Friday. Your light stick. Most people here are scared of Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th. So there's not really a celebration. I just always like the day. Oh yeah, we could do your Night Watch dedication Friday. Quad said, yeah, let me look for something scary like Showgirls.
Fluffy, ooh you, love you by the way.
Ooh you. Oh my god. Sasuke, thank you for the 86.67. Making it even. You guys are nuts. The new and improved movie nut, thank you for the 22 months. I'm imagining whoever is not watching the stream live, watching the VOD, and like, you know, not watching it start to finish, but like watching parts of it and being like, what? Why every few minutes is she holding up a poop emoji plush? Oh my god. What's wrong with the bot? I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't expect to be listening to farts tonight, but hey, plans change. Oh man. No, you can't. It's no, there's no replaceable battery in this thing. Farts are hard not to live. Live, laugh, fort.
My biggest fear is a killer saying some funny shit while I'm playing dead. Okay, there, I am done. Or am I?
Oh my god. Thank you for another 10, Mac.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Scray wormy, scray wormy, scray wormy.
Makoto Cakes, thank you for the 7 months. Oh yeah. I think movie night we should do Blade. You can fart with any body part. That's a talent. Fluffy is not following me. Big Sag. Okay, we covered San Francisco. We talked about New York. I'll be booking that tomorrow because we hit our goal. What else can we talk about? Maybe we could pleb, or maybe we could play games. Maybe we could just like casually roam Elden Ring. Texas next? While that sounds funny reading that out loud, Texas would be a destination just because so many streamers live there if I were to do co-streams. Oh yeah, there was tons of hot ones that we missed. Jenny bought a house in Austin? What? Jenny's Merkin now? Crazy. You have a normal size forehead.
You meant Blade Runner right for movie night, right? So, should I keep working on my wife to let my go to NYC so I can shout Sasha across a crowded airport? Sad new, got fire from Pepsi. Turns out I tested positive for Coke.
That's a good dad joke, man. Henry Rollins on Hot Ones. What, Mac? Thank you for another 10. Thank you so much. No, Blade with Wesley Snipes is what I meant, by the way. Thor 311, thank you for the 12 months. You got your new golden badge. Yeah, we figured out like a month or two ago that Blade was now available streaming. And Blade is, you know, it's a good 90s classic. Let's see, hot ones. First we feast. Hot ones. Oh my god, I just remembered. You guys, do you remember that restaurant we watched? We were plebbing out and we watched the eatery special on that guy who runs a very small Italian restaurant in New York where he hand makes pasta. And he was just so in love with food and so poetic and passionate about what he did. What if we go there? I don't think they'll let me. I'm gonna find these people on Instagram and beg them to let me stream it. But you know what? It's kind of a fancy place. But I liked it because it wasn't too stuffy feeling. You know what I mean? But you know, when you ever go to a higher end restaurant, having a camera out might be a problem. But I could I mean, they filmed the eatery film there. The eatery filmed there. Maybe if I write them in advance, we can ask. And then if they're like, no, weird. But okay, what if I don't know. Maybe I'll trying to figure out a way. We got to figure out a way, you guys. That was like advanced pasta. Just everything, man. He was so creative. And he was creative to the point where it wasn't a laughable thing either. You remember he did that sunflower ravioli where he combined the white and black pasta. And then he made, it was so beautiful. And also looked so delicious. Like, you could tell the food is delicious. It's not just, it wasn't just a presentation. There was no Alfredo blasphemy involved. No. Okay, I'm looking at the Hot Ones page. Black, well, he used squid ink. So, yes, the squid ink made the pasta black. If you've ever had squid ink pasta, you would know that. Not sure why it's funny. It looked delicious. It looked delicious, okay. Would it be a problem if you streamed from your phone there? Well, that would be my idea, to do the an IRL stream from there. I think if I were to do it though, you know, like, okay, what if I did this? I'm trying to think of how it would work. Because I think they would not want a lot of commotion and disruption for the other guests eating there. So I'm trying to think, what if I did like GoPro? Because it's small. So I could have a GoPro overhead, right? On the table. And then a phone on me. And then we have 2 cameras on screen. Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna get a server for our IRL trips. So I'm gonna get the server for the month, so we don't have any issues if the stream cuts out. So June. So I'll get the server for the month of June. Yeah. And with the I'm gonna go with a different company quad. Absolutely. But with the server, what's cool is I can stream 2 cameras, and I'll have plenty of time to set it up and test it. What the heck, Fluffy? What are those? Okay, I got distracted. Okay, so where's Henry Rollins, man? Henry Rollins is 4 years ago. And I've watched
So
this.
I was down by the creek, eat a Miracle Whip and mayonnaise sandwich while listening to Nickelback, and then it struck me, the only thing that could be better is running across the airport screaming Sasha.
Thank you for another 10, Mac. Thank you. Oh, except that mayo back. That mayo back. Yeah, I've watched this Henry Rollins one. I just forgot about it, but I see here I've watched it. I can see it. No, I think the season for Hot Ones has ended. But there is what? Wait, did we ever watch Idris Elba? Okay, what did we not watch? We didn't watch Tom Holland. We didn't watch Josh Brolin. Let me go to the playlist. I think Josh Brolin was the last of the season. Playlist. Hot Ones, season 17. We watched most of these, actually. Oh, we didn't watch Tracy Ellis Ross. We didn't watch Tracy Ellis? I swear I watched that. Oh my god.
Oof, Mac, my Native American Manitou. The dad joke territory is making me consider plastic surgery. Don't make me hit you with my wallet.
That's the most out of sync you guys have been tonight. Thank you for another 10, Sasuke. Oh, that was a juicy one. Oh my god. Okay. Here. Hiroko, what's up? Look at that little lamb chop emote. That's so cute. Let's vote. Let's do a poll. I'm gonna create a poll. I'll let you guys decide today. Who did the is this Minecraft poll old? You guys voted no on Minecraft? What the hell? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Poll is live, you guys. 3-minute poll. Do you want to watch Hot Ones or roam around in Elden Ring? You decide. Lamb chop was your dog Gracie's favorite toy. Oh, I missed her. Oh. Is there a fork knife? Where's the or option?
But honestly, Mac, you are so funny until I roll over in bed, then not so.
I don't know if to sneeze. Thank you, Hiroko! Ooh, you got your Elden Ring G Fuel?
Hey,
hell yeah.
It's just a matter of time before they add the word syndrome after my name. BTW, my tacos arrived with a fork on the plate. I can only guess it's there to stab taco thieves.
Okay.
Sasuke, thank you for the 10. Grimward80, thank you for the sub. Mac, thank you for another 10. Schematic, thank you for the 6 months. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, thank you. I really do feel like I'm missing out on telling you guys something else, but maybe it'll come to me later. Now I want tacos, though. Hey, I thought they were supposed to send me Huh. I thought... Here, let me write this for later. Reminder. Weird. Also, when is my code?
Oh, my lovely Manitou. Dare I say hump? Those are the best. Let's yell together at LaGuardia, Sasha.
Okay, my G Fuel codes will be end of the month. Increased discount end of the month. Thank you, Weeks. Welcome to chat. Sasuke, thank you for another 10. Oh yeah. What did I just drop? Oh yeah. When I was in the middle of my set, I got my chapstick out and I turned around because Quad's always making fun of me for my 11 teen chapsticks. But I turned around, I looked at him, and I know he couldn't see it because the reaction wasn't right. But I was like, no, I didn't see what it was though. Moon Knight. I don't have the Moon Knight one. That's on my next Moon Knight and the second part of what's it called? Why am I zoning out? Jason Bateman. Ozark. Second part of Ozark in Moon Knight. I've done borscht. You can actually see my borscht on YouTube.
Okay.
It's been more than 2, but okay.
Lil Dave Kuss. Thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Okay, what happened in this poll? Hot Ones won by a landslide. We're gonna watch Hot Ones, you guys. What's up, Manus? Welcome.
If I was a cave bear, I'd have a taco on my belly. At sauce, if you can convince my wife, I am down for it.
I was last here when you played Sekiro. Did you beat it? I did, and I beat it on Demon Bell. It was amazing. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Scray wave.
Superbird, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Delete the potato. Oh my god, I forgot about delete the potato skins. Sekiro is beautiful. Superbird, thanks for those 2 months. Mac, thank you for another 10. Oh yeah, it was juicy. Do I play techno? The answer would be yes. What else? I don't know, you guys. Let's watch some Hot Ones. Oh, you've never seen Ozark? Nah, man. It's really God tier. Let me update my title and we're gonna get into Hot Ones. Will I DJ in New York? It's probably gonna be too last minute for New York because I'm going second week of June and usually clubs want extra time to promote. So usually like less than a month is not really ideal for anybody. Do you like lo-fi house for a DJ set? No. I like lo-fi house, like lo-fi for... Well, when I think lo-fi, I think of like chill beats, like the stuff I stream to. I like deep house. I do. I don't really DJ it because I don't really get booked. I feel like deep house is like very... It's good for very specific settings. Unless you specifically make that kind of music and get booked to play that. Like deep house is good for like rooftops. Rooftops, cocktails, and then extreme after hours for the people that want to see the sunrise. You know what I mean? So I've been able to play some deep house. Like I've been booked for like rooftop situations where you're like, yeah, it's not the same thing as playing in a club. So I'll play more deep house. Hot ones. Boop. Close out. Link. Wait, what's this? Wait, what is this? That might be good. Night watch is my favorite genre. Oh yeah. Boop boop. I gotta fix my... We haven't done reactions in a while, you guys. I gotta fix some stuff. Browser.
I normally mind my own business, but if someone is arguing on Facebook, I'm reading all 694 comments. And with that, I'm outta here. Was I ever really here though?
Mac, thank you for the 10. I know, sometimes comments are just more entertaining than content. Thank you for the 10. Dudes! Thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you very much. Alright, give me my window. Give me my window. Now, why is it all out of order? Let's do it, you guys. Hey, that's not the right one. Boom.
Dave's not here.
Just got back from work. Did you already tell us who you met in?
Oh, you, of course you knew. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, Family Business on Netflix. It's a French show. It's a comedy. It's really good. I recommend that show. It's super funny. And like all of the actors are just great. It has just a really nice pace. It's like, especially when you don't have time to, like, if you want to watch a movie, but you know you don't have time, you could like watch 1 or 2 episodes of that. And you're like, oh, no, cool. I got to watch something good. Super cool. And I saw him, that actor, Jonathan Cohen. I saw him in something else recently too. He was also good in. You know, sometimes you only see somebody in one project and you say to yourself, oh, I wonder like if they're only good at this, like only good at comedy or only good at that. I saw him in something else. He was really good. Does milk really neutralize? It does, actually. And so does I prefer bread because milk is just gross to me. Do they call French fries in France? So they call them freedom fries. They call them pommes frites. I took a Lyft to the airport once, and the driver was like the sweetest dude. He was Indian, and he was telling me, he was like, do you like Indian food? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I love Indian food. And he starts to go, last night, my wife made dinner, and it was so good. I love spicy, but it was so spicy. And, my stomach started burning a hole. But you know what works? When that happens, milk. And I just drank all this milk, and I was better. But if I hadn't drank that milk today, I would be hurting. You know, sometimes you get those, like, taxi or Uber or Lyft drivers, and you're like, I don't want to talk to you. You're annoying. It was the exact opposite of that. He was so sweet and super nice. Also, he was talking about food, so how could I not like it? Horchata is way better than milk to suppress the heat. It also works. Vanilla ice cream, the milk doesn't help. The milk doesn't help the out. All right, you guys. Today was really fun. I think I'm going to actually call it so I could be responsible and eat before 10. And the call, it's become a meme now. When is your Hot One stream gonna be? Look, okay, here. First of all, when I say you guys gotta give me a half a kilo of that Minecraft kid energy, of that Billie Eilish, Rihanna Navy energy, half a kilo. You guys have the power to get me on Hot Ones. It has nothing to do with me. As long as you're not annoying, if you band together, you guys could create enough interest to get me on Hot Ones. Just saying. It comes up every time we react to the show. I would love to do Hot Ones. Use Twitter, you guys. Use Twitter. But in the meantime, we have the season 17 kit that Sad sent to us. So, you know what? I'll actually schedule it and tell you guys when, because I feel like that's something you guys are really going to want to see. So I will post it on Discord whenever I decide to do it. We'll do it soon. Yeah, I'll let you guys know in advance. Nate Lane, thank you for the 15 months. Okay, but you'll need a clean bald guy to ask you questions. Lots of new YouTube videos out, you guys, so don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. I forgot to do the clips contest winner on the 1st, so I'm sorry about that. We're gonna do that later this week. We hit our goal for our New York IRL streams, so we're going to New York, chat. It's gonna happen. Let me see some hype. Let me see some hype for New York. Friday the 13th, I will be streaming. After stream, we're going to do movie night on Discord. We're going to watch Blade. If you're new here, don't forget to follow. Turn on your notifications so you know when I'm live. I was gonna play games today, but you guys voted to play to watch Hot Ones instead of Elden Ring, which I'm quite shocked by. But it was fun. It was a super fun stream. So we did Hot Ones instead of Elden Ring. Also, if you're new here, my Discord channel is where you could find most up-to-date schedule information. So the announcements channel, even if you're not subbed, you can read and react there. And I always put relevant information as well as schedules on the Discord announcements channel. This week and next week are going to be a little bit different. Normally I stream Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But this week and next week will be a little different because I was off stream over the weekend since I had a gig in San Francisco. So it just kind of threw things off a bit. So schedule this week is a little bit different. Yeah, so you could find all that there. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that's it. That's all I got. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. We're going to New York. Second week of June. We're going to do it. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. I'll be back Wednesday. See you then.